Well, howdy, 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 everybody. Teresa here with Bradley. He's in the back. And with the critters, right, Charlie? Charlie and Nixie. Hi, Charlie. And Little Bits, of course, is down here on a blanket at my feet. She likes to have a little blanket, soft blanket, folded up right by wherever I'm sitting. She loves to lay on it unless she's on me. So, anyway, today is November 17th, 2021. It is Wednesday afternoon at 2:09 p.m. We're just kind of getting our day started. So we both slept in today. That was really nice. We went back to having separate bedrooms because we just don't sleep that well together. It's not that we don't sleep well together. It is that our animal, mainly Charlie, who has always mainly slept with me, doesn't understand it. He's 10 years old now, and he just doesn't understand. And I know you can say he's an animal, he can get over it. Well, no, really, he keeps it up. I'm not going to go beat on him. He keeps it up all night long, crying and whining and trying to get to me. Because all he knows is that he always sleeps with his mom. So, and we weren't getting any kind of quality sleep, so we went back to that. What else been going on? Beautiful day out today at 73 degrees out. We'll do that real quick. It is 73 degrees out, and let's see. "73 degrees out, feels like 73. Wind is 11 miles per hour. Humidity is 39%. This will be the highest it gets today. It's beautiful because the wind will come, a little tiny gust of wind, and then you'll see a whole fluttering of the colored leaves, and that's so nice. So I always enjoy that. We've been getting our room set up the way we want. And that's always good because you always find a different way. Hey, maybe this will work better. Maybe that'll work better. We both slept really well last night, though. So did Charlie. Right, Charlie? Charlie Ann. He did. He slept really well. The dogs were all three dogs were super, super scratchy, scratchy, scratchy. And I knew they didn't have fleas because I always treat them once a month with the topical flea treatment, down the back and everything. And I checked them, and there was no presence of any kind of flea. And what I think it is just dry, itchy skin. But we went ahead and I found some homemade dry dog shampoo that I had made up some time ago. I got the recipe online. And I know from the feel, I could tell there was cornstarch in there, and then I know there was like some tea tree oil, and maybe there was some lavender. I don't remember what there was, but I dusted all the dogs with it, and that seemed to be helping somewhat, help alleviate. And what?
Was there the diatomaceous earth in there?
There might have been. I'm not sure.
Okay.
There might have been. I can't. We think so, but anyway, we ordered some more diatomaceous earth because what happened was, and we use that a lot in our home, around our home, and on our dogs, and you can use it on your cat as well. Is because it helps control pests, basically any kind of bugs, and it doesn't harm them at all. It doesn't. Humans use it too. Some humans ingest it. We get the food grade kind, but we're not going to ingest it. But you can mix it in with your dog's food or your cat's food if your cat will eat it after that. And you can dust your animals with it. You can dust your carpet with it. If you've got maybe you've got ants in your vehicle or something. It's really good stuff. So we ordered some more of that because what happened when we moved was I had a big bag of it that got left outside, and of course with the rain, it's no good. So it happens. So we have some more coming. Uh, just been kind of doing the normal. I had a doctor's appointment Monday, and that went okay. She just kind of reiterated some things that my cardiologist already told me about my heart and stuff. That I have a thickened wall muscle, which we knew on my heart, and also what they classify as a stiff heart. So basically, when it contracts and it fills up with blood, and it doesn't contract all the way anyway, then it's not able to fully pump all the way. Now, right now it's to the point where there's not anything they can really do. If I once I get worse, then there'll be things they can do. But right now, it's kind of a watch and wait thing. And with the lungs, we know there's an issue, but I don't see the pulmonologist till next month because I was supposed to see him, but I was in the hospital not the last time, but the time before that, and they're so booked up that it take that long to get rescheduled. So, I mean, it was kind of a bummer because basically they said unless it's a life-threatening surgery, they're not going to do any kind of surgery on me. I have a pinched nerve in what she thinks is my neck, and it travels all the way down. It can go on either side, but primarily it's down on the left or the right side, which is my dominant. And that really is very painful and stuff, but we're going to be doing some, it looks like donuts stacked on top of each other that you put on your neck, around your neck. You can get it on Amazon. It's called like an inflatable neck traction or something. And then you inflate it to a comfortable degree, and what it does, it kind of extends the neck and kind of takes the pressure off that nerve. And she said do that at 20 minutes a time. So, you know, I'm infection free still, so that's good. My numbers are all really good. She, my diabetes is really, really good. All in really, you know, right where we want it to be. So, it was a good visit. But let me tell you what, we decided we're going to take Jellybean with us, right? Because we take her almost everywhere we go, right? So the minute she sees me getting dressed, I think it's the minute she sees me put on a bra, basically, she figure, hey,
This be happening.
they're leaving. The parental units are leaving the home, or one of them is. And so we decided we're going to take her. Because she's like all excited and running all over and stuff. Well, okay, I was driving, and so I handed Brad the leash. Now, first off, I'm always the one that leashes her. Because, I'm the one that usually, is holding on to her. Well, she wasn't really going to have it that Brad was going to leash her. But finally she did. I took her outside because she just was going to be, wrap herself around him and his roll later, and I just, didn't want to see him go splat. So, we take her, or I get her outside, and I put her in. Now I'm driving, so first off, she's confused. Brad gets in the Jeep, passenger side, and he's trying to hold her, and she is not having it. She is just being a fool. She's jumping all around, and she's being so hyper, not how she normally is. I have her trained pretty well in that. By the time we got to the doctor's office, I'm telling her to make good choices now. Because she just, I don't know if she tried to bite you or not, but, she doesn't really bite, but hi, baby, I'm talking about you. But, she just acted a fool, and just frantic, and jumping all around, and stuff, and clawing at the window, clawing at the door, clawing at Brad, clawing at me once I would not drive anymore. So I left Brad and the poodle, and I wished him luck, and I went into my doctor's visit, which was a long doctor visit. Doctor and I get along really well, and we're both smart asses, so we get on a tear. Finally get out over an hour later, right? And it wasn't like they kept me waiting. It was just, when she has time, the doctor will really sit and really visit with you. And it's so nice, because she even asked about how Brad's doing the whole 9 yards. I get out there, and I can tell he's about had it with her now. He didn't say anything, but I had said, do you want to drive? And he's like, here, take it.
Yeah.
She's all excited, too, because, he hands her to me, and I'm waiting for him to get out of the passenger seat. And, she's just all happy to see me. And then get in the Jeep, and I set her down. She always rides right in between us. There's a kind of a console area built up. And she always rides there. So I put her there, and she rolled there and sat there and didn't raise a peep, did she?
No.
She was just like a different dog.
Yeah.
But because I was back where I was supposed to be, the passenger seat, mom's in the passenger seat, dad's the one that drives. Guys, don't mess up how it's done. And I even told Brad on the way home, I said, look how good she's being.
Yeah.
And he's like, that's what he said, yeah. I mean, we went to KFC to get a fill-up bucket, the $20 one. Well, now I think it's like 23. But she didn't even bark at them. But Brad said while I was in there, she whined, she cried, she barked at people, she was clawing at the window and doors and him and jumping in my seat. And yeah, she's terrifying him. She's traumatizing him. He's always too scared to put a diaper on her because of what she's done in the past. And the other day he was getting ready to put one on her, and I could tell there was a terror, a fear in his eyes I have not seen since we had grandchildren that were in diapers. And she's ready to with him. Now she's used to laying on her back. She lays there, and I just get her done normally. But she was ready to pounce with him.
I was ready to get out the duct tape and just dive on in.
Now she's traumatizing him about he's never gonna want to be the passenger and hold her again in his whole life, I don't think.
Nope.
But I got one of these. I have I know I have a what do you call it, harness somewhere for her that'll fit her, but I just have to find it. But I got one of these. It hooks on here, and then you can put this around the top of a seat, and then I will adjust it, and that way. So my fear is if we were to stop real suddenly, I don't want her catapulting through a windshield, and that way it also stops her from, trying to get out when one of us gets out.
Charlie.
Charlie Ann, that's rude. Make good choices, Charlie. 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 Charlie, come here. You don't even know what you're barking at, dude. Charlie, come here. Okay, if y'all have bed frames, now we have the kind that fold, and the legs fold up as well. If you have any of those left, don't throw them away because they make great dog gates. Because they hinge right in the middle. So we have one that's an L shape. We're using it as an L shape so the dog can't crowd and jump at the door. And we can actually have the door open. That way, it's a win-win. And the cat loves it too because just enough of a space in between with the L shape that she can squeeze through. She can lay there in the sun and groom herself and kind of sits there and stares at the dogs like, ha ha. Right, Charlie? So, yeah, that's what's been going on with us. Took me a day or so to kind of adjust. Not, wasn't the happiest news you want to hear about, that, because I really do need to have the surgery done on my neck, but time will tell. We're going to do what we have to do.
Yep.
But Brad has some news about where he was yesterday and what went on. Take it away.
Okay. I had an appointment with the surgeon, and
He's an orthopedic surgeon.
Orthopedic surgeon, and he had them first take X-rays of my hips, and pretty much the ball socket on my left side is pretty much gone, and it's bone on bone, and it's gotten to a point where it's eroding so much. Instead of a ball, it's just kind of like a short spike. And he said that I'm a good candidate for surgery. He thinks it will be very successful. He thinks that within a year that I should be walking with only a cane, that I'll be able to throw away my walker and my rollator and everything. And but he does want me to lose about 20 pounds. And he last A1C, which was about 2 months ago, was 7.2, and he wants me to be below 7. And with as successful as I've been, this is God, I get so excited I can't talk right now. Yeah, this Ozempic is just absolutely amazing stuff because my blood glucose before the Ozempic, I was usually in the low 200s, and it didn't matter what I
That was a
did.
good day.
Yeah, and it didn't matter what I did. I couldn't get it below 200.
Mm-hmm.
And since the Ozempic, there's only been once or twice that I've been over 150.
Yeah.
And it was like yesterday morning I was at 99.
99.
You know, and so I'm hovering, you know, right under. I'm running in the 120s. So, but yeah, I'm just so excited. I was hoping if they wanted to do surgery that we could do it before the end of the year, but it probably won't be until January. But
Yeah.
you know, just the thought of being able to not have to use all this equipment to walk and get around and everything, and
Yeah.
you know, and I
Be
won't
able to walk again.
and I won't have to rely so heavily on you because you know I know that's hard on you.
Well,
You know?
yeah, it's hard on anybody. I think what's been hardest is the depression that goes with it.
Yeah,
And the hardest is seeing you in so much pain.
yeah.
But also tell them about the bone that they're gonna have to put in, and
Oh yeah. What they're gonna do is um, they're going to remove just a real small section below the ball joint, and they've got a metal rod that will go into the femur, and then they'll the other end of the rod is the ball joint, and then what they're going to do is when they go down in there, they're going to take some chunks of bone off the femur, and they're going to use it to rebuild up the socket
yeah.
because the socket has been eroding badly too.
Mm-hmm.
So you know, and that was another thing, and you could actually see it on the X-ray. Was me laying on the table normally that my left ball and socket was about an inch higher than my right ball and socket just because of the erosion. And I was wondering because it seemed like if I stand with my right foot planted and I'm standing upright, it seemed like my left leg was too short, and
Mm-hmm.
it is. You
Yeah,
know,
it's about an inch shorter, they said.
yeah,
So that's wonderful
I
news,
know
though.
that's
I mean,
exciting.
finally we've been given some hope,
Yeah,
and they think that will greatly help with the back pain and stuff.
yeah,
So it's a big glimmer of hope. He definitely has some very obtainable goals.
yeah,
That's not hard at all.
yeah,
Um, it isn't the if you are diabetic type 2, depending on what kind of regimen they have you on, talk to them about the Ozempic. I just recommend. It's
yeah,
very pricey, but you can get different programs and stuff
yeah.
for it. I think we pay
$25
$25.
for a 30-day
Yeah,
supply. But
and it's a wonderful, wonderful thing. Um, it's made not near as hungry, and it drives down your numbers fast on your blood glucose. I just highly recommend it. It may cause some stomach upset at first. It's known to do that. I did not have issues with that. Brad did, but I think you're pretty much
yeah,
over it now.
yeah,
You just have to kind of hang in there if you can. But also, I've watched, and Brad is really, yeah, it makes you not near as hungry, but he has really been careful about his choices that he eats. Like if we have some potato chips and stuff, but I've been buying the variety pack of like the baked chips and stuff, and that way it's portion control for us, which is good. You know, and you can still have some sometimes. I mean, and one thing I like too is we don't go through normally a whole bag of chips.
mm,
And this way you get just a portion. The rest they won't go stale. So we do the same thing with ice cream. We'll buy ice cream bars or something because again it's portion control. Because as my husband likes to say, he can always get the biggest bowl and squeeze in a little more ice cream in that bowl. It was just true. So
yeah. And I will admit I'm very bad about that.
and it's just about portion control and stuff, and I was having a hard time wanting to eat just everything in sight, And then I realized that I was eating too much processed sugar, which I'm not supposed to eat at all. And so I really cleaned up my eating this week, and my numbers have gone back downhill. I think it's really important if you're diabetic, please test at least once a day, because otherwise it's easy to think you're doing okay. And you don't realize those numbers are really creeping up, and all of a sudden you're past 150 again. And that's when infections love to happen and really love to run rampant, as my doctor put. So I would recommend if you haven't tried the Ozempic, try it because it's really some great stuff. Um, doctor's very very pleased with both of our outcomes
Yeah.
with it because our numbers have gone way down and we're feeling better and stuff. So, but it was good news. I'm really thrilled for you.
Thank you.
I mean, the chance of him to be able to regain, because even if he was in half as much pain as he is today, yesterday we spent him setting up his bedroom and setting up how he wants it more to be like more, and then me resetting up the bedroom how I would like my bedroom to function. We're very sore today, and we already plan on taking today off and doing extra stuff. But while I'm sore and in some pain, Brad was in a lot of immense pain with the hip. Go ahead.
I was setting up my bed, and instead of having the bed in the middle of the room, I pushed it to the outside wall,
Oh, did you?
and it's right underneath the window.
That's why your dog was laying there. Okay.
And I had we had a mattress cover that was in the wash, and I moved it to the dryer, and I put the egg crate, and we've got it. I think
Got
it's
those memory foam egg crate we bought back with the craptastic
yes,
mattress.
and I think it's a 3-inch egg crate, 3-inch thick, and I had the bed. All I needed to do was get the mattress pad, and then I could finish making the bed. And I after it was dried, I took it back there, and wouldn't you know it, that a certain little girl by the name of Nixie,
I was saying, not Jellybean.
and she got up on the bed and she chewed it up. I mean, there were little pieces about the size of an egg all over the place.
All over, huh?
Oh yeah,
It's like she just kind of went through and
yeah,
wow.
and we have never ever had problems with Nixie chewing up anything, except for the egg crate. She chewed up the one a little. She chewed a corner up of the one in Teresa's room.
Yeah.
And she chewed up the one in my room. And what I did is I gathered up as many of the small pieces as I could, and I kind of packed them in the hole and then threw the mattress pad over the top of it. But,
was it okay last night?
Yeah, it was. But it was funny because
that's funny.
I was taking her back to my bedroom, and I kept calling her, and she wouldn't get up. And finally, she got up, and I did not realize she could move this slow. And I mean, I think a baby sloth would have beat her in a foot race right then. And I'd call her, and she'd tail between her legs and head down. And finally, I got her where I put up the bed frame gate so she couldn't get back there. And then she came out and she hunkered down in the living room and looked at me, and I finally got her back into the bedroom. And first thing she did was dive under the bed. And I tried calling her, and all I could see was a pair of eyes blinking from under the bed. And then she got out from under the bed, went and laid in the hallway and staring at me. And I tried calling her, and same thing. All I could see is eyes blinking. And then finally last night, she hopped up on the bed, and she was laying right next to me and just being silly and loving me up and doing the pretty girl thing. And have you ever?
Pretty girl thing is when they do the paws over the eyes like that.
Yeah.
All 3 dogs we've trained, we can say that, and they'll all do that.
Yeah. So.
But
yeah,
it was cute.
Finally, she forgave me.
Well, no, she thought she was in trouble. She hadn't even gotten chewed out. And of course, I mean, because we don't have chew out. She's harder on herself than we'd ever be on her. because she never does that kind of stuff. But the thing was, she was mad, and the dogs run this house and the cat, but she's shady. But he hadn't had he she wasn't getting an individual attention from him, like on the bed, let me roll around and love up, and she'll like lick his face and his eyes and stuff to death, you know. But she hadn't gotten that, and I think she was mad. So, but so yeah, it was funny. And Charlie was like, "Thank goodness," because he was happy too, because he just doesn't understand. That dog does not understand why all of a sudden he's not supposed to sleep right next to his mom, on his mom, something mom, you know.
Well, what were you telling me about him and Jelly?
Oh yeah, because him and Jelly get along. She gets along really great with the other two dogs, but she will. She last night, Charlie was laying on his side, and he puts his little head on the pillow just like a human would. Yeah, I know. But she goes over and she decides she's gonna kind of curl up in that space between his neck or his head and his legs, and she put her head right in his crook of his neck. It was so cute, you know. She she's come into her own, definitely. Haven't you, Jelly? She says, "Mom, I'm sleeping now. Leave me alone." So yeah, I'm gonna make stuffed green peppers today. I haven't made those in forever because you guys know the price of green peppers is just like I don't even want to look. So I'm gonna make those today. Throw them in the oven. I want to get back and do some painting, and still got a little bit more to do with my room. I'm kind of at a standstill because until we get more done in that last bedroom, so I need to put some of my yarn and stuff in there, and to make a little bit more room. I'll probably jostle things around eventually. Um, and two, with you having surgery in January, it gives us longer to get. We want to have this house all the way set up just how we want it before he has surgery. So then he can just come home and convalesce and work on recovery and stuff, work on physical therapy once they have him doing that and all that good kind of stuff. So, I'm not new to this because my brother always had physical problems with his hips and stuff. So even as a kid, his in my family on the paternal side, they have a tendency for joint sockets to not form all the way, and it usually be all along one side of the body. So my brother always had to have hip surgeries, and since the sockets weren't ever formed all the way, they would have to redo that and reshape and all of that. So I mean, I'm new to it, as in I've never watched anybody recover because when he was a kid and stuff, they'll just keep them in the hospital and do that because he went to Shriners Hospital. So, but I'm used to the terminology and stuff, though it's a lot more advanced than it used to be, you know. I'm sure they don't even keep them in Shriners for as long as they used to. So we're talking months that they would keep them, you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but everything good, you know. We're both working on doing things that actually becoming the people we want to be, as opposed to what as you grow up, what your parents want you to be, what your friends want you to be, even what you think your children want you to be. But actually, you reach a certain age, like all of us do, that you're tired of taking stuff from certain people, and you're tired of not standing up for yourself, and you're tired of not being able to stand there and just be yourself and say, if you like me, great. If you don't, that's okay, but I'm not going to go and change just because, you have
Well,
to do whatever you want to do to make yourself inherently happy, not what you think is going to make everybody else happy. And that's been a hard lesson for me to learn. And I think you too, because we were raised as we were the children that were seen but not heard, and we were both firstborn. So we both ended up having to take care of the younger kids, and even like at a Christmas dinner or something. You'd have to sit at the little kid table still because your job was to keep all the kids behaving and quiet and stuff, and or to do the housework. The younger children could sit there and do nothing, and you would have to do all the housework. Do a lot of babysitting, and also that's what we were talking about, liking your own space, because we didn't share bedrooms with our siblings. I mean, I did for just a short time with my brother, and then he was always in and out of the hospital. And I think you probably shared, your mom said, a short time initially with his sister, and then he had his own room, I had my own room, and so we like the space, and we're not used to having. I know some kids where they've always grew up always sharing a bedroom. They hate not having somebody in there. Well, we got used to it. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're finally becoming the people we really want to be, not what we think everybody else wants us to be. I'm to a point in my life where, like I said, if you like me, great. If you don't, that's your problem. It's not mine.
Yep.
As long as I like me, that's all that matters. As long as I like, and I can say I think I am a worthwhile person and I'm a good person, never going to be perfect. Nobody ever is. Um, then it's all good. But my objective is not that everybody else has to like me, because that's never going to happen. You're always going to have somebody that doesn't even have a real reason that doesn't like you, and vice versa. I met people that I don't even know, and from the minute that they would introduce themselves, I could tell right off the bat there was something about them I didn't like. And I know that's happened with you too.
Oh
And
yeah.
I think it's happened with all of us. You don't have a real reason, or sometimes you do, just kind of sense of an evilness with somebody, and you're like, wow, stranger danger.
Yeah.
So, made some more TikTok. So if you follow me over there, it's Teresa Heidi, all just one word, just jumbled up. And I do silly TikToks. Don't take them seriously, because I don't. Um, I just really love all the different filters and effects and stuff. So, but it's fun, you know. Whenever I get a little bit of time, because Brad went to the surgeon appointment by himself, and I stayed here, slept in a little bit, and then I was messing with TikTok and stuff. And
Yeah, you had a really rough night.
I have, but I slept really well last night. I slept in. I got a lot of Z's. I think you said you did too.
Yeah.
And it was nice. So anyway, that's all that we got going on. We don't have any plans for Thanksgiving. Well, we do, but we don't. Okay, Brad likes ham, and I love ham. I'm not even gonna pretend. I love ham, but the salt in it just makes me so swollen, and I fight that all the time anyway. So, and I do like the turkey, or some kind of bird, because I like the leftovers. The favorite part for me for Thanksgiving dinner is the sandwich you make late that night with the turkey and the lettuce, and you know. So I'm gonna just do. I think I already talked about this. A whole chicken. We got a small ham. And we're gonna do the rest of the fanfare. We're not gonna do a yams, because we don't care for them. Why waste some time and money? Basically hate it when they make them sweet, and then you put the marshmallows. And I know a lot of you guys all love it, so you can have my portion and Brad's. And I don't mind the green bean casserole, but Brad hates it, so we're not doing that. But the rest of it, we're gonna do deviled eggs instead, because I don't know how this happened, but now Brad seems to think any holiday has to have deviled eggs.
Yeah.
And any other time he can talk me into it,
You started it.
With what? Easter.
Yeah.
But they didn't ever say I was doing it for every holiday then. Somehow you...
You know what? I think you did.
No, somehow you morphed us into all this crap.
No, I think you did.
No, I didn't. We thought about going out for Thanksgiving dinner, but every place is gonna be really full, and frankly, right now is hard. Like I've talked about before, that people don't really um, move out of the way for somebody who is using some kind of medical equipment, whether it's a walker, a rollator, a wheelchair. Some people are just fantastic, but some people are not. And also, a lot of these restaurants are so close, the tables are so close together, we found that it's hard to get like a place to park his rollator and stuff. So, and then there's no leftovers. And then there's the price of it. I mean, man, some of the prices they want for even these grocery stores. I mean, granted, you can't do a turkey dinner just for two. And I mean, it just costs so much money to, and I don't want leftovers forever. Even a turkey dinner for four people was going to be $80. Are you
Yeah.
serious? And one of these, it didn't even come with anything except for the turkey. What? The turkey and was it mashed potatoes?
Yeah.
And that was it.
And the pie.
The pie. There was no stuffing. There was no gravy. There was no cranberry sauce. Now I'm paying $80. I would
Yeah.
think you'd give me everything.
Yep.
So it's like, no, thank you. I mean, and I thought about just getting like a turkey breast, but that's really pricey too. And then the frozen weight on the turkey really makes that poundage go up.
Yeah.
So I'm just doing a whole chicken. It'll be plenty big enough.
And we do have a couple whole chickens in the freezer.
Yeah, that's why I didn't pick up one.
Yeah.
Have you pick up one? We already have everything we need for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So, yeah. We're still waiting for we think we have everything ironed out with the financial bank debacle. We're still waiting for stuff to be processed and come through. Like, okay. It'll all work out.
Oh yeah.
We're getting steps made there. So, um, that's about it. You have anything to say?
I think you got it all covered.
Yeah. Are you going to make some pumpkin bread today? I already told him about how horrible my pumpkin bread turned out. I know he might not. He might not. I don't know.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Not sure yet.
anyway, that's about all I got to say. It's a relatively short one for me. I'm going to do some painting, I think, this afternoon. I'd like to get that diamond painting of Brad's grandmother finished. Of course, I'm still making hats. That's what I'm going to talk about. The hats. I'm not forgotten. And Rebecca, thank you so much. I thought I had already told you thank you. And I know you had asked, I think, in a comment. And I looked and I had sent you a message on Facebook about a thank you. But then there's some stupid thing about having to hit send. Because I looked last night and I'm like, oh, yeah. Apparently, you got to hit send. Brad does that all the time to me. He'll say, I text you something that's like if we're off the ends of the house, and I'm like, no, you didn't. Yeah, I did. And then he'll later, oh yeah, it's here. I just didn't send it. And I do that once in a while. But we're in luck, especially maybe you can do that if you get a chance today.
Yeah. You want me to call somebody?
You can call. You can, whatever. He likes to call people individually. And we're going to take the hat down there. I really would like to have them taken down there before Thanksgiving because a lot of these homeless shelters and stuff, depending on how they're set up, will have either Thanksgiving care baskets or boxes going out to people they could put hats into, or they are having a Thanksgiving type dinner and they could give out the hats there. I think it would be a nice thing. So, and of course, we don't do the whole Black Friday thing, so don't even worry about that.
I did it one time 20 years ago.
Yeah, and never again.
No, I'm
but
still traumatized.
Yeah. I mean, some years past, I've taken part in some of the Black Friday online shopping. I don't know if I will this year or not. Depends on if our money matters have been straightened out or not. Next month, we're definitely going to get Jellybean, probably, or maybe even possibly this month. Probably next month, though. Get her spayed. and I want to get the dew claws in back removed because they're hanging down so bad and they get snagged on stuff. I'm not gonna take the dogs to a groomer because I'm too much of a cheap ass. Not that there's anything wrong with those of you guys that do, but I have a big dog, or well, Nixie, who's the giant schnauzer, and then Jellybean, and you know, it can run me a lot of bucks over 6 times a year, you say approximately. So I'm gonna just do it here at home. Have Brad help me. I don't need help with Nixie, but the terror. Now, don't let her smell fear on you this time, the poodle.
No.
Please.
It's,
She smells fear on you. She's gonna know and she's gonna react accordingly, Brad.
I
She's
know.
gonna become a hellion again.
I know. She has me
She
scared.
can be feisty, like her mom. But yeah, I'm just gonna groom them at home, because I'm a cheap butt. I'm a cheap butt. But yeah, and I want to do some sewing. I keep saying that. I'm just waiting for the room to kind of get set up. But we can only go so fast. I mean, we're older and like that. We're both really sore. My arms are super sore today. Brad is in an extreme amount of pain, but he can't handle it. I'm trying to teach him the doctor provides him with pain relief that, especially if you're not having to really do my set day, you could go ahead and partake. If he ends up napping for a little bit off and on in the recliner, then so be it. I mean, we both slept in today. We didn't have to be anywhere today, so yes. And also, I canceled my hematology appointment that's for yesterday. Another thing, if you guys need to learn to speak up for yourself and not just follow whatever medical people say, because I didn't even know I had the appointment for hematology, and then they had sent me a text message, and I'm like, well, I didn't even know I had a hematology appointment because I canceled it when I was in the hospital, and I hadn't rescheduled, but I did. And then I was thinking about it, and it's like, why? Because I haven't even had any blood work done. So why am I going in to see her? Plus, I was still mad at her because she wouldn't do a direct admit on the UTI, and I ended up then going a matter of days later and being sick enough I had to be in the hospital. But so I called them and I'm like, or I canceled it online. Then they called me a little bit later. I couldn't believe it. Like a half hour later. Want to know why I canceled it? Did I want to reschedule? I said, no, I don't want to reschedule right now. Then they were going on about, well, you need to have your mammogram and the ultrasound done before she sees you. And I'm like, it got canceled because it's in the hospital. They didn't sound very happy about it, but I don't care. And then she's like, well, and I said, and I canceled it because she hadn't done any blood work. So I don't know why I'm going in if she hasn't done any blood work. I mean, it doesn't make sense to me. So, and well, I didn't have her on speaker, did I? Because she was like, almost begging me, well, keep in touch. And I'm like, bye. Okay, yeah. I think he could tell I was like over it. I'm like, I mean, I wasn't rude, but I'm just like, yeah, okay. Yeah. It's like, when the mammogram people call again, I will reset that up. I mean, wait for them to call. They're supposed to call, but they're busy and stuff, and all of that. So I don't have to be anywhere except for Friday for the DMV to get my DMV stuff, to get my license here in North Carolina. I have one for Florida, obviously, but I'm like, you don't really feel like you're an official part of a state until you have your license. Then you're like, I really belong here. I have the driver's license and I have the car plates that all, yeah.
Well, remember all the hoops you had to jump through for Florida.
Get all that paperwork together and they didn't even look at it.
I know.
So, whatever. So, anyway, gonna get off here, go make some peppers. Right, Brad?
Yeah, and I've got the shelter I was going to call.
Where at?
It's in Rocky Mount.
Oh, is it? Because there was a good one in Wilson, too.
Which would you rather do?
Well, you can look up. There's one in Wilson that has they have like a store where you go and you get like these coupons like that, and then you go and you get so much free clothing or food or whatever.
Okay.
I mean that not necessarily. I just thought about maybe volunteering down there later on. You know, kind of looking at different things. Whether I work from home, thinking about that, or that I do some volunteer work. You know, it's just I'm not really sure where I would work from home right now. Seriously, if I do like customer, you know, rep with Amazon, I can't necessarily keep the dogs quiet.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
going to stay holed up in a room and have the dogs locked out all day.
And that's almost what you'd have to do.
Well, before when we were talking about me using that in bedroom,
Hmm.
that's what I was going to have to do, and I really don't want to do that. I
Yeah.
really don't want to be. Yeah, so we'll see. Maybe I'll sell some artwork. You never know. All right. Love you guys. I do cherish your friendship so very much. I hope you all are doing really well. Comment down below. Brad's back to replying to comments like a good toad. Right, Bradford?
Yeah.
So, anyway, I love you guys, and I will talk to you later. Say bye, Brad.
Bye, Brad.
Bye, guys.